So basically what I'm trying to do is that, top-down distribution, as you just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
So freight cost we are posting, directly posting into COPA using a characteristic which is company code and freight cost, right? And then when it gets posted to COPA, then basically in COPA you will have only company code and freight cost, right? Only these two things will be,
Okay.
right? So in COPA you will see only this freight cost and company code, and then when you talk of reports, at this point of time you will have only just company code level data will be there in COPA, right? So now we talk of distribution. So that is what we say top-down distribution. So at that time you need to have a reference data. So when I say reference data, so based on certain other data you are going to distribute this this 3000, right? So that based on other data is what we call reference data. So in this example, customer 1, 2, 3, 4, material 1, 2, so got posted into revenue, right? So this is like, again, this is one example as a revenue. You can take anything as a days, right? And then this is pretty much as I told you, like flexible reference, right? And then when you do that, basically when you do the top-down distribution, what will happen is that in COPA you will have company code, customer, material, and then value field, and the data will be much more detailed, right? So this is what we will see. Like other day I mentioned about this, right? So now once after the top-down distribution in COPA tables, right, you will have much more detailed information like company code, customer, material, and freight costs distributed like this. And depending upon material and customer combinations, there may be some other characteristics may be derived. Okay, that's what we will see right now. Okay, so just give me 1 second. So let me go to SAP. Okay, so here I just wanted you to see first of all the reference data, right? So the data I created as a reference. Let's say created on 9/7. Let me put 9/7. 9/7 data created on 9/7. So this is the data I created earlier in COPA, right? So let me pull the customer.
Okay.
Customer, and customer is here. So I'll just take the customer here, and then product. So let me take the product also. So product is here. So I take the product here, and I'll take revenue, right? So revenue is the field which we are looking at as a reference, right? So let me take the revenue as a reference. Our revenue is here, so I'll take the revenue. Okay. So now if I look at this data, if you see carefully, right? So I have a customer 255 and 256, 7 and 8. Okay, so these are the 4 customers I have, right? And then I have the data posted to a product. So product is like 100, 100, 100, 100 here, and 100, 120, 100, 120. So this makes this makes one segment, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
And this makes another segment, right? But again, individually different customers are there. So which means everything is a segment here in this case, right? So this is one segment, right? So the combination of the customer and vendor, right? If you see customer, different customer, and not vendor, sorry, here product, right? So this is a different customer and product, different customer and product, different customer and product. So the data which is posted is $1,000 here, 1,000 euros, and 2,000 euros, and 3,000 euros, and 1,500 euros. So this is the base, right, that we want to use for distributing. So what you want to distribute? Let me post some data for the distribution, right? And then we'll try to distribute that value. Okay. So easiest way is to post the data, right? So now I will keep this value. I'll keep this particular screen here to just monitor, right? I'll create another session. And easy way is that I'll use KE21N, right? So to post some data, and here I am posting data to record type F, okay, and carefully observe here. So what I am posting is I am not posting any other field, just only company code I am posting, okay. No other field I am posting right now, just only company code I am giving here, okay. So and then what I am doing is that I am just going to value field, okay.
Yeah.
Now here let me post here freight cost, right? So freight cost you can post or any other field. It need not be freight cost, okay. I mean you can use the freight, but you can pretty much you can use any other field also for like a distribution purpose, right? So that's what
some other field also you can distribute to other fields.
No, some other field means like, for example, let us take in this example, right?
Yeah.
So let's say take cost of goods sold, okay. So let us post cost of goods sold as 3,000, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense now?
Out of the 3,000, you can distribute something to the freight, yeah?
Not to the freight, right? So now right now,
cost of goods sold to cost of goods sold only.
Yeah, cost of goods sold to cost of goods sold only. But right now, how many characteristics you are posting? Only one.
Yeah.
Right. So which means company code, and you are posting the cost of goods sold as 3,000 here, right?
Yeah, you have posted here.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just saving this, right?
Okay.
And which means like right now, if we go and see in again in the same table, right? So KE24, right? KE24, and it's for the record indicator F and here. So the data created today, right? 97, not 97 today. So, okay, and then pretty much I give user, right? User here, and then I execute this, right? So now if you see, if I go here, like how much data is there? Only one record is there, and that too, like only company code data is there. Say at this point of time, if somebody asks you, okay, what is my cost of goods sold by customer? Can you tell that here? My cost of goods sold in this case, right, by customer. Can you tell that now?
Yeah, I'm seeing only one characteristic.
Yeah. So right now, if somebody asks you, okay, what is my cost of goods sold? Yeah. What is my cost of goods sold by customer? Can you tell now?
By customer.
Yes. By customer and by product. Can you tell?
No way, because you have not posted it by customer.
That's exactly so now, which means at the time of posting of this cost of goods sold, I was not knowing the details about my customer, right? But now I want to distribute this 3,000, right? Based on this data, right? Based on this particular data, I want to distribute 3,000 into
what is this data? This data is revenue data. Based on revenue, you want to distribute your cost of goods sold.
That's correct. And also this is a reference data. It can be anything, like it can be statistical, posted, or any other revenue, right? So
this will be helpful for organizations who are posting manually.
Yes.
Or some requirements like that.
Right. So now let us look at that in the action, and then see how the data is posted or top-down distributed at this level. Okay. So now I'm going into the top-down distribution screen, which is KE28, right? So it looks like this, right? Normally, whenever you are talking about top-down distribution, this is the way it will look like. Okay. So now what you are distributing is for the period 7, right? For the period 7, and record type F, right? So the F is the record type, and then what is the reference data? As I told you, reference data is actual, right? And the record type is A, right? Then So the period also here 7, 007 here, right? So the same data, right? And then what was the base for the reference data, which is revenue, right? You remember that revenue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So revenue. No, pretty much you can take anything as a base, right? But in this case, in this example, I am taking the revenue. Okay. So now what I am doing is I am distributing the data which is posted for F and for the period 007, right? And then again there are other parameters, but right now just concentrating on this. So now here as a reference I am just taking the actual data, right? Which is also posted using KE21N.
Yeah.
Actually this is posted earlier, right? So but doesn't matter for you, right? But this the actual data is not a planned data, right? So KE21N I used it in the reference, and basically the reference data is in record type A, like in a statistical kind of thing, and the data which we are using as a base is like revenue. Okay. And
so, but
now
you told we can use A as well as we can use plan data and we can use statistical data.
Oh yeah, that's what.
In that case, the record type will.
Yeah, so that record type can be H, right? So here, for example, H.
Can I see the drop down for statistical?
Yeah, you can use H, right?
Okay.
H indicator you can use here, right?
Okay.
But the data should be existing, right?
And here handling negative values something is there that, and by values so many options are there.
Yeah. Again, there are so many options are there, but try to understand the base thing, and then you can experiment other things, right? So there are a lot of areas out there. So you have to click on the basically what you wanted to like distribute it. You have all the fields will come, but you don't touch anything. You want to just distribute customer and product, right? These are the two which we want, like top down distribution that you do. So you select that as it is, and then you are retaining whatever the data which was there, like a company code. You just retain the data, and what value.
Okay, 1 second. So, if you go back, sorry. So customer, it will distribute to product. If product profit center is based on product, it will also update profit center or no?
Yeah, if you have that all that information, then it will automatically say here you want to distribute, right? So if it is like automatically derived, then it will derive the values.
Okay. And if the product is part of the plant, again it is automatically going to
that's correct.
Post it to the plant also.
That's correct, right?
Okay.
So then value field wise, what you wanted to distribute, remember the data that we used was cost of goods sold, right? So that's the which I will select it, right? Because I'm not distributing anything else. I just want to distribute only cost of goods sold. You remember that? That is the data we posted, right? So I want to distribute the cost of goods sold, right? That is what I am making a tick there, right? So
this is all value fields, yeah?
All these are the value fields, right?
Okay. And the previous screen was also why we came. One was characteristic. Okay.
Yeah, this is the characteristic, right? And that was a value field.
So both
right?
you have
so
to give.
Yeah. And
so
then
which characteristic you wanted to distribute and to which value field you wanted to
yes,
post.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Right. And then processing instruction. That's what we talked about, right? And that's it. Like so, this you can pretty much like you can take it. If everything is okay, then you can execute this, right? So right now it is in the test mode because I did not remove the test one. Okay, so it is dumping, right? So if you see, once I execute here, so it will pretty much exactly like it will show the log wise, right? What data is posted, and you can see pretty much who are the senders, how many, the number of the receivers, all that data will come here, right? Number of receivers, how many
allocations, yeah.
Yeah. So then you go here into the line items. So here obviously it posted with the two currencies, right? So I'll just filter only by one currency, right? And then it will give you. Let me put something. So B0, right? So then so here these are the data. This is the data which is posted, right? So earlier, let me pull that information. Cost of goods sold, right? First of all, product. Let me pull the product here. So product I am pulling here, right?
Okay.
And yeah, so where is the product? The product is here, right? And then customer, right? Customer is here. I'm pulling the customer, right? And then I'll pull cost of goods sold. Maybe I should put it. Now, cost of goods sold is the one which we distributed, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Cost of goods sold. Yeah, this is the one which we distributed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take these values. You see here, the data which was 3000 earlier, right? Right. So that 3000 pretty much now emptied because 3000 is gone. Minus 3000, right? Because that is at the company code level. Now it came like customer and product. You see that?
Yeah.
Right. So which means whatever was earlier there, like now 3000, right, is now emptied, and now it is posted to a much more detailed level. So earlier there was no details regarding product, right? So this product was not there earlier, customer was not there. Now after the distribution, you have all this data. So now you tell me, so what is my cost of goods sold by customer 255?
Yeah, it's there now.
Which is 400 euro, right? And not only that, like what is my total cost of goods sold for a product 100, which is nothing but
1200.
Yeah, exactly. Now you got it, right? And for the product, it's like 1200 and 1800. By customer, it is 400, 800, 1200, and 600, right?
Yeah.
So that's way. Now what happened if you go back to this particular slide again, right? So this was the base, right? This was the reference data, and then we are using that reference data, and now you created, you see, by company code, customer, and all this data has come into SAP, right?
Yeah.
COPA tables. So does this make sense to you now, or like in a more detailed way in SAP?
It reference, but what I see here, so same way.
Yes, this we can do like for planning also, but I wanted to show you in actual, right? And then
yeah,
pretty much the same functionality is used in the planning also. The same like phases and same like what data you want to distribute and what is the reference data, and then you can pretty much distribute this. Note down all the list of transaction codes here. So this is what we did actually, right?
Yeah, but this is all no configurations here. It is only transactions.
No configuration, right? Because top-down distribution is a SAP given process which facilitates you to distribute the data which is posted at some segment levels to a different segment levels depending upon the base data that you are referring,
Mm-hmm.
That is important thing here.